Previously on A Life Awry. We tackled the much needed baby proofing projects before restocking the boat to head off on our biggest adventure yet. Brisbane to the Whitsundays. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to follow us on our adventures. And if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button. It really helps us out. Right, back to where we left off.
So it is 10 past 5 in the evening. Goodbye sunshine. Hello moon, you probably can't see it, but the moon's up. Beautiful sunset actually, it's gorgeous. We're just coming up on Noosa. Wind's actually died off a bit. We're doing 6 knots. We're only getting 10 to 15. We've been ages since we've had a gust, and if the gust was anything it was 17 knots. So been sort of being a bit careful because we are supposed to be forecast right now at this point in time to be gusting to 30 knots, and it goes from 15 or 10 even up to 30 knots like that. So I have been kind of sailing quite conservatively. We're currently still sitting on 6 knots with partially a couple of wraps on the head sail and still got the 2 reefs in the main. This current speed, our ETA is currently to Double Island Point is about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Leanne and Jack will probably go to bed, and I'll just sit up here and chill out. I don't see it being too eventful, and there's going to be a good moon to pull into Double Island Point at night time. It doesn't get any better than that for anchoring at night time. The mast looks good. Refurbished that about a year or so ago now, a year and a half ago.
We are currently 1 hour and 54 minutes away from our anchorage. We are travelling at 4.8 knots. I think it's probably 9:15 now. And we got clear skies and yeah, full moon. It's like sailing in daylight, really. We can see so much, and the baby's asleep and the captain needs to pee a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong there. It's because I've got this bloody jumpsuit on, keeping me warm.
Yeah.
I have to take it all off to go to the toilet.
You're probably thinking, I better not need to go to the toilet again, and then you need to go.
Yeah. Mind you, like I heard cups of teas, cups of coffee, bowls of water.
I've had moments of anxiety, stress. We haven't sailed. We've only done this once before, and it was like 3 years ago.
The rest of the time's been just sailing around the bay.
Yeah, so I just get a bit anxious, but I'm already feeling a lot better now.
I feel very chilled actually.
Yeah, you are quite chilled, you're relaxed.
It's a nice night. Boat's loving it.
We woke to find that we had a very short window to cross the Wide Bay Bar, as the conditions were deteriorating. The Wide Bay Bar is treacherous, and many boats have sunken or run aground over the years. In fact, 2 days prior to our crossing, a boat ran aground and snapped its keel, so it's definitely something not to be taken lightly.
So this morning we're crossing the Wide Bay Bar because the weather looks like later, so we've just made it up early, left Double Island Point, and we're just about to cross the bar. We're coming up on waypoint number 1. It's pretty horrid actually. The guys are stashed down below safely. Okay, once we start punching into it. There's a couple of ropes over there. There's other boats going in, so far so good, so we're going to start descending. We snapped the bang off before, the boom bang. I forgot to loosen it this morning, I had us out in the beam reach. Oh well, what happens, eh? mainsail up with the second reef. Give us some stability, otherwise we're rolling around like a pork chop.
That was a pretty wild ride, to be honest. Chuck, how long did it take to cross the bar? An hour? Good hour. It's a good hour.
Yeah, we were getting smashed. Doing sort of 3 to 4s with a 30 knot, well, it was 27 knot headwind. And then you get these big chop waves coming in straight at you, and you hit one or two of them. And you just what you're feeling down below, like spray everywhere, and then you'd be like slow down to 2.5 knots, and then just hit another one. The lowest I seen was 1.7.
Myself and Jack were down below, and he was just happy out watching Wiggles. Every time it really rolled and crashed and everything was like smashing around the place, he was just like laughing and trying to walk up and down the aisle, and it was just like, oh my god. And I'm just like trying not to spew. I just have to hold on to him, and if I do need to get sick, I probably just need to stand up and get sick into the dishes in the sink.
A bit of a rush this morning, I must admit.
Oh, it was such a rush. It was like literally Jack woke us up at 6:15. Kieran checks the weather, and it was like, oh, the weather's turning shit, we have to go. And I was like, oh my god, just start the engine. And we just left. So much nicer now.
It's really cold.
Go north, they said.
These southwesterlies. Westerlies, southwesterlies are shit. Luckily we got across the bar though, because it's turning nasty this afternoon. First 48 hours into the trip. It's gone pretty smooth, but we've had 30 knots. We've had breakages. I tore the, I'll show you later, but I tore the boom bank off the base of the mast because I forgot to release it this morning when we were bashing across the bay to the wide bay. And we broke a snubber last night on the anchor chain. It was getting pretty old. It's the one that came with the boat, so I've been sort of anticipating but putting a new one on, so it just shows that I probably should have done it already. Not that anything's a race, but there's a catamaran in front of us and we're both flying a head sail only, so I've only got our head sail out. Beautiful day. It's bloody cold though, and on AIS they're doing only 1.8 and we're doing like 3 to 3.8. So that's a win for the monos if you ask me.
It's always the race. Kieran's always comparing us, and he's like, just before he was like, we are amazing.
We are amazing. We shouldn't actually be racing because we need to slow down here because we're still got an outgoing tide. And so we can't really push too far up into the sandy straits until the tide turns and we have a rising tide. Just in case we run aground, we don't want to lean over. We won't cross the real shallows today because that's the high tides at like 11 o'clock tonight. I mean, he's been full on though, look at him. Hey,
full on.
but like good healthy full on, right? Yeah. He's adventurous. You're adventurous, eh buddy?
Kieran pretty much single hand.
And you're single-handing Jack, I'm single-handing the boat. Yeah. Although when it's calm and collected I can help with Jack, but we are going through some pretty narrow channels at the moment, so I kind of have to, where are we? I sort of have to pay attention.
So we've made it to Gary's anchorage and we're just going to go check it out. Jack hasn't been in the dinghy in over 6 months, so he's a bit apprehensive. I think he's a bit tired too. It's been a really hectic couple of days, so we're all a bit tired actually.
We're all a bit ready for bed. Alright, we're good to go. Well, I'm going to say that this beach is best landed on at about half tide, not low tide. Filth. Oh, it's nice to finally stretch our legs after a few days. He's been cabin fevered in the boat for the last
48 hours.
48 hours.
Oh my god, the mud is everywhere. How are we going to get into the dinghy?
That was an amazing sleep. We anchored at Gary's Anchorage at the Sandy Straits, and it was like we were at the marina, except for quieter. Just had breakfast in the cockpit, very briefly, and I think we're about to get underway.
Yeah, we've got 8 minutes.
8 minutes to lift anchor and start moving. We've got to hit this just before high tide, hit these shallow spots. How often, whilst under sail, can you make a cup of coffee on top of the Dodger? Not very often, I say. What do you reckon, Jack? Captain Jack Robin. So we're currently under sail. Got the head sail out only. We're going pretty much dead downwind or slightly on the port side quarter. We're doing only like 3 to 4 knots, but there's only, well, at the moment there's only 5 knots of breeze, so true wind. So not doing too bad. Right, we're just about to go through the real shallow stuff. We've got a red marker up ahead. We're leaving that to starboard. We've got 2.5 metre tide, so we should be fine. Just everything shifts around, so. We've still got 4 metres under the keel at the moment. 3, 2.3, 2.4. 2.5. I'll just slow us down a touch, I think. Now the advice I've been given is give the red marker about a boat length. So for us that's like 10 metres. 2.5. So yeah, we would have touched bottom by now if we hadn't waited for the tide. Still at 2.5, 2.4. I think we're doing pretty well. We'll see what happens. That is the shallow stuff. That's it, 3.5 metres under the keel again. We've got like 8 knots on the beam now, so I think it's time to hoist some sail. It's 40 minutes, 2.5 hours until we get to the Kingfisher Resort, which we might anchor out the front of and go ashore, because I think by the looks of it and by the weather forecast, the wind is supposed to swing around to the southeasterly a little bit more today, which means we'll be able to anchor on the inside of Fraser, and I think that'll be a good spot to go and have a look at. We've been told by everyone else to check out Kingfisher. Alright, let's see how we go. We have got current against us, but we have apparent 9.5 knots just after the beam. Running with just the head sail up, just because it's easy at the moment. There's nowhere to really turn down.
Just arrived at Kingfisher Bay Resort, and we're going to stay here for the night because the conditions are perfect and it's sunny and the water looks nice and we can go on the beach, and yeah, I'm very excited. The baby is still sleeping. Very surprised that he's still asleep because the anchor is so noisy. It usually wakes him up, but I went in there and blocked his ears.
In the V-berth.
Yeah, in the V-berth, yeah. So I blocked his ears and he did stir, but he went back to sleep. So, winning. So while the baby sleeps, we're here doing some jobs. I'm just doing a bit of hand washing in the bucket, and Kieran is making a new snubber for us.
We snapped our snubber at Double Island Point the other night. It was getting pretty old and I've been thinking about building a new one for a while. So I'm just doing some splicing.
And then up on deck we lost the, what did you call it, the bang?
It's like 10mm aluminium plate that's part of the masthead.
Actually that's not the only 2 things that we've broke. The GoPro mount case broke on us, so back to holding the GoPro, but luckily we didn't lose the GoPro overboard. Oh, it's lovely here. It's so nice. The sun is warm. Oh, it's going to be so nice in on the beach. So excited, and I think we're going to go have a beer at the resort as well. So it's pretty cool.
We just had a moment of realisation, hadn't we, really?
Yeah.
Leanne just asked me, like, because I've been dreaming of going cruising like this, going sailing adventures since we met.
Yeah. Best part of 7 years.
Yeah, just talking about it, and we've owned the boat for 3, well not quite 3, 2.5. We've had Jack, we've done a lot of boat work, like a lot of boat work, and now we're actually here.
And I just said to Kieran, like, how do you feel? How do you feel?
it sort of still feels surreal. It doesn't quite feel real. It kind of, because we live on the boat, parts of it just feels like normal life still.
Yeah.
So really, I suppose I've been living the dream since we moved on board, except for maybe the boat work. But it's kind
You love it. He loves the boat work.
probably all part of it, isn't it?
No, you love the satisfaction you get out of improving it, and he's made a lot of improvements.
Yeah,
Our
that's
life
right.
is like so much easier now than what it was when we first moved on.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
The boat so far is working well.
Yeah.
I've done my as per I think the saying of cruising goes is I've done my first repairs in nice places. Like, we've kind of eased into it, so we haven't just brought a boat and gone cruising.
No. It's been a gradual thing.
You know, we've done lots of weekend trips and, you know, week trips out around Moreton Bay, and we brought the boat. Oh, the baby's awake. There goes our peace and quiet. There was once a little baby.
As always, thank you all for watching, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to follow our adventure.